Hello, everybody. I want to welcome you to my Facebook Live today. It is Creating Cards with Debbie, and it is Wednesday, March 6th, 2024. I'm just going to give a moment for everybody to get here. I might have came on just a minute or so early, so uh, hoping my lighting and my sound is doing good. When you come on, say hello and let me know if you can hear me okay. I've had some audio problems the last few weeks, so I want to make sure everything's working good. Let me catch my breath here and then we'll get started. Today I'm going to be showcasing some online exclusive products that just came live yesterday, March 5th. So lots of things in there to look at and drool over. I know I have been. But let me go ahead and get started here, and everybody can catch up when they come in. Like I said, I'm creating cards with Debbie, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm located in Bismarck, Arkansas. And I want to welcome you here today. Be sure you like and share the video and tell your friends about me. And if you're watching this later on YouTube, be sure that you hit that subscribe button that's down below and also click on that little bell and you'll be notified when I have a new video that I put on there. So you don't want to miss anything. All right, let me switch my cameras around and we'll go ahead and get started here with our paperwork. And I'm a little bit blurry, it looks like, but maybe we can go with that today. Like I said, I'm creating cards with Debbie, and you can shop with me in my store at, it's scrolling across the bottom, and I forgot to change my host code on the, let me go back and change that. We can't have that. It's the wrong host code for, that was last month. Give me just a second to change that. And it is TU9 DAR MV. Let me make sure that's right. TU9 DAR MV. Yeah, okay, that's better. Let me see if that switched it. And show. Yep, we've got it. All right. All right, like I said, you can shop with me in my store, which is scrolling across the bottom of the screen right now. And it is www.debbiefoster.stampinup.net. And the host code for March is TUND like dog, A like apple, R like Ramona, M like Mary, and V like Victor. And it's also scrolling across the bottom of the screen, so you can catch it there. Oops, and I clicked it off. Hit the wrong button. All right. And if you need to email me, you can email me at creatingwithdebbie179@gmail.com. If you have any questions or any concerns about anything. And let me grab my paperwork over here. And today is the 6th of March, so you've got until March 10th to sign up for the March Paper Pumpkin Kit. And it's called Memorable Meadows. And you can subscribe until March 10th to get that one. And with this kit this month, you'll get a free stamp set. So you'll end up with 2 stamp sets instead of just 1. And there's the website to sign up for the paper pumpkin. I'll leave that up there for a moment. It's called Memorable Meadows. And you can still get the out on the Love of Spring dies. These dies went along with the last 3 months, January, February, and March. But I think it's still available. It has a little dies here. It's got a love word and then one flower, then one leafy kind of die. So, but this month is March and it's called Memorable Meadows. And it says share nature's beauty with lovely allocation cards. Makes 9 cards, 3 each of 3 designs with 9 coordinating envelopes. Pre-cut vellum pieces and wood embellishments. Coordinates with the Meandering Meadows Suite collection. And the coordinating colors are Granny Apple Green, Garden Green. And it's the Garden Green is a classic Stampin' Spot that you'll get with this kit. And it also goes along with Balmy Blue, Night of Navy, Gorgeous Grape, and Fresh Freesia. And like I said, includes a free stamp set, so you'll get 2 stamp sets instead of 1. And you have until March 10th to sign up for that. And here's a larger look at the dies if you want to see those. It says shop the coordinating add-ons. Get the Love of Spring dies while supplies last. So it went from January to February to March. So let me do my paperwork. And like I mentioned, the products that we're going to use today comes from the online exclusives. I can get my clip off of here. There we go. And we've got some new ones that just came out yesterday. I think there was like 20. I heard somebody say there's 20 new items added. So let me remove this. And so you just go into my store and you'll click on ordering, and then you'll click the online exclusives, and it'll bring you straight up to all those that are on there. We've got a little one that's what's it called? Latte Love with the coffee. That's really cute. And then we have another one that's got the zinnias and a little wagon. And here it kind of shows the zinnia collection a little bit bigger, so you can see that. If you have any questions, reach out to me, and I'd be happy to help you with any questions that you might have. It's got a zinnia embossing folder. The adhesive back shiny sequins are not available at this time, but they will be coming back. The Simply Zinnia stamp and die bundle. And then it has another one that's encircled in nature bundle at the bottom page here. And then there's some other ones that are on there that aren't listed. Like the one that I'm going to be using today is not on this flyer. So they've had a lot of online exclusives added. So there's lots of things that aren't in the catalog. So you might want to check those out. I've got just a list of a few here. It's pages and pages. And don't forget that the Boho Blue limited edition mini cut and emboss machine is in there too. It's in the online exclusive section. And I use my blue one all the time. I've got the white one too, but I've kind of set that aside for now. I've been using the blue one. They both work wonderfully, so there's no reason why I'm not using one or the other. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. We'll get our instructions all out here. And let me bring my comments back up here so I can watch comments. Like I said, be sure you say hello when you come on. Then I'll know that you're here and I can say hi. All right, let me get all my bits and pieces out here, and hopefully I don't lose any tiny ones here. I've already done all my die cutting, so you don't have to sit and watch me do that. This is our card, our first card. And it says happy birthday, and I've got a lot of glare I need to cover up. So let me get those covered. Let me see. Is that going to take care of it right there? I like the glass mat, but we get a lot of glare off of our lights when we're filming. So this pretty much helps it. So I think we're going to be okay. I'm just going to move that away and make sure. Yeah, looks good. Okay, so here's our card. Let me get it up here closer so maybe you can see it better. Hi, Amber. How are you today? Glad you're here. We just got started. You timed it just perfect. I'm just going to start with the cards. Okay, this is happy birthday. And let me see if I can open it. I've got butterfingers today. And I haven't put anything on the inside yet. I'm kind of debating what I want to put in there. If I'm just going to write a note or if I want a sentiment stamped in there. But we'll decide that as we go along. And I've got the vellum is embossed. And I have used the Time Worn 3D embossing folder, which I'm getting a lot of glare off my lights there. I don't know if you can see it really good. And whoops, I'm losing all my things under my plate here. I'm pushing them under there. We don't want to do that. But let's go ahead and get started, and we'll explain as we go along. And like I said, I'm using one of the new online exclusive bundles here. Whoops. The Magnolia Mood Dies and Stamp Set. So it's very pretty. So I got Thank You for Being You, which is kind of a different sentiment. And then just a note to let you know that you are loved. Happy birthday. And then our flowers and leaves. I love this already. I've been using it for a lot of things. And then all the dies it comes with. Let me see how many's in here. Can I read it? And it's kind of hidden. It's got 10 dies to it. So it's quite a few dies in there. Let me close all this up. And we'll set those aside out of our way. I've been getting a lot of scam calls. Spam. I guess it's called spam. So I don't answer my phone unless I know who it is. And I just got one on my phone here, on my watch here. All right, we're using our Bubble Bath cardstock, and this is 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches, and then it's scored in the middle at 4 1/4 inches. And I'm going to be using it as a landscape layout. Okay, directions here. I'm looking at the wrong one here. Let me get back here. Oh, that truck was noisy. Okay, they were on the right one. All right, so we got our bubble bath, and then a vellum is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches, and I've already embossed that already, so you want to sit and watch me do that. And this is going to lay on the front of our card, and I'm only going to attach it underneath our images so that the ink doesn't show through. It's a little bit of a trick to hide that. All right, and then we've got, I've already stamped and die cut my flowers already. So I've got the little cone shaped flower, and then I've got the flower itself, the magnolia. And we're going to just color those with our Stampin' blends. So I'm going to bring those over here. And we're going to use Bubble Bath. And our Parakeet Party. Parakeet Party is one of our in colors that's going to be retiring this year. We keep them for 2 years and then they're retired. So these are, what are they, 20, 22 to 20. Well, what are they? I got to look in my book. I get confused what years they are. And don't forget that our book also is going to be retiring the end of April. So both our large annual catalog and our mini catalog are both retiring at the same time. So it's going to be a lot going on in the next month or so. Okay, it's a 2022 to 2024 in colors are all retiring. It's the Sweet Sorbet, Parakeet Party, Tahitian Tide, Starry Sky, and Orchid Oasis are all retiring. So if you need any inks or paper or ink refills, Stampin' blends, markers, any of that things that come in those colors, you need to put your order in at ASAP because They usually sell out really fast, so you don't want to wait too long. All right, and I want the light wild wheat. And we're going to start coloring here. I think we're going to start with the little flower first. I guess I did need both the dark and the light wild wheat, so let me grab that other one out. All right, and I always start with my dark color to do my highlighting. So I'm just going to do a little scribbling here just to add a little shading. And I go where the lines are usually that Stampin' Up! Has provided on our image. Don't let me forget, I found that joke that I was looking for last week that I knew I had, but I misplaced it. I couldn't remember what I did with it. So I did find it this morning, so remind me to tell that to you before we get off here today. I thought it was really cute. It kind of goes along with my spam calls all the time. All right, I think that's good for the dark. And now we'll switch to the light. And I'm just going to fill that in a little bit. That's what my head was showing very much to see all my gray hair. So I hope everybody's doing well and your weather's doing good. And we're kind of cloudy and overcast today, so I'm hoping that the sun comes out here in a little bit. Always makes you feel so much better when we got sunshine instead of a dark, gloomy day. And am I upside down? No, I'm right. Thought it was upside down at first. And now I'm going to take my dark parakeet party and I'm just going to do a little shading on my leaves. Or I should say scribbling, really. That's about what I'm doing. So Amber, can you hear me okay? Is my audio okay? I know I've had some trouble with it lately, so I don't know if it's good today or not. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Okay, and we're going to fill in with the light parakeet party. Let me turn this so I can stay on the lines. And one more over here. All right, so that one's done. We'll set that aside, and we'll bring in our flower. And we're going to do the flower in Bubble Bath. This is one of our new in colors this year. Oh, that was on there good. Or I'm weak this morning. And I'm going to just do some shading with this one too. Nothing fancy. I've got a new burner scent going. It smells good. It's called, I think it's apple pie or something. It might make me hungry. It sure smells good. And I'm just putting the dark bubble bath where the image has the lines to do the shading. And this has got quite a few, so bear with me. I know it's kind of boring watching somebody color. And a little more here. And I got to go ahead and color these while I'm got the dark out at the same time. And a little bit more there. Oops. I colored on my hand. Now we'll come back with the light bubble bath, and we're going to fill in the centers of those flowers. And I did do some cards using the in colors that are going out, so remind me to show you the samples of those before we get off here today. And JoJo's taking her nap. She's awful quiet. And she's getting big on us. What is she, 5 months old now? She was born October 5th, so I think that makes her 5 months. I haven't done the math yet. All right, so we got that. And that goes away. And then we're going to bring in our parakeet party, the dark, and do the same with the leaves that we did before. I'm just adding a little bit of shading in the center of these leaves, just to give it a little bit of a contrast. Does anybody have any plans for the weekend? It'll be here before we know it. I don't know where the time goes anymore. I keep writing it myself. Okay, and then we'll fill in those leaves with a light parakeet party. I think I got a little bit on my flower there, but it looks okay. I could get my color lifter and take it off, but I'm just going to leave it as is. Okay, got those. And then I'm going to come in with our light wild wheat and do the center of our flower. All right, so that's all the coloring we need to do, I think. And we're going to set those aside, and then we're going to bring our card over here. I'm going to make sure my card is laying right, that I don't need to force it down. All right, and I'm using the ribbon. It comes from the sheer ribbon combo pack, where you get 3 different rolls. The bubble bath, I think that's the azure afternoon, and then the lemon lolly. We're using the bubble bath ribbon. I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Seal Plus, and we're going to put some strips of that on here to hold our ribbon. And just kind of guessing where it's going to go. So I think that's good right there, right down the center at an angle. I don't know if you can see how I did that. Kind of put it at an angle. And then we're going to take our ribbon. Yes. And we're going to loop-de-loop it. Guess that's a word, isn't it? And so the Stampin' Seal holds it down in place. Let me bring my paper snips over here. And we're going to trim that off right there. You can put our ribbon away. And now we're going to start placing our things down. I'm not going to put this onto our card yet. And I need to turn it over. I had it upside down. You can kind of see your lettering, which way it's going. So it doesn't really say anything, but you can tell which way the letters are going, if it's upside down or not. All right, and I've cut out, and let me put these on here so you can see them, some leaves using those dies. And I'll show you the dies here as soon as I get these all out here for you to see. And I should have cut these out using adhesive sheets, but I didn't. All right, so let me show you what dies I used. Okay, I used this one for that one. And this was for the flower that I used. And this one is this one. I got some dies underneath there hiding here. One out of there. This one is this one. And I'm still missing. Where did they go? Oh, it's in my package here yet. And then this little leafy one for this one. So that's the dies that we're using. You put them back before I lose them. I would be very unhappy. Like I said, I've already cut those out ahead of time, so you didn't have to watch me do that. All right, and now we're going to kind of lay these down as a dry fit and see where we're going to put everything. Right there. And maybe one right there. Trying to pick them up here with my fingers. Oops, you jumped right out of my finger here. Come back here, little guy. And hold up on that one. I'm not sure where I want to place him. I'm kind of doing this one a little different than what my original is. I need to scooch these guys up because I'm going to put my sentiment down there. So that's why you don't attach them until you're absolutely sure that's where you want to put them. Okay, right there. And then we're going to stamp our sentiment and put that down there. So I think this is looking fairly good. Should I put one there? Maybe one right there. All right. So I'm going to use my fine tip glue. And when my bottle was empty, I just filled it up with my Tombow glue. So that's what we're using to attach these today. And I'm just going to put a little dot here and there to hold it in place. Not a lot. You don't want it oozing out all over. Hold that for a moment. It's kind of quiet today. I'll turn this at an angle to slip that under there. Oops, and then stuck to my fingers and I removed it. I didn't want that to happen. I think I'm butterfingers today. My fingers aren't working. have days like that. Another one. Probably need to take my bracelet off. It's rattling on this glass mat a lot. And just hold that for a second, let it attach. Don't forget that you can still join my team and get your starter kit for $99, and you get to choose $125 worth of product, and that includes free shipping. And you'll receive a paper pumpkin kit. It wouldn't be the current one, but it'll be a past one. And your catalogs and all your supplies that you might need if you want to start a business with Stampin' Up! As a demonstrator. And you don't have to do what I do. You can just get your kit and enjoy the discount each month. It's a 20% discount that you receive after you've put in your first order. So it's something you might want to think about. If you have any questions, just reach out to me. Either private message me or email me. And I'd be happy to give you all the details. I'm going to grab my Take Your Pick tool, and I'm going to pop off my dimensionals. And I think I'm going to split some of these because I don't need a full round one. So I'm going to be frugal here and save a little bit by cutting them in half. And I think I gotta take my bracelet off. It's making too much noise. It's starting to bug me. All right, one in the center, and I'll use this little one right here. Now this is, the big flower is up on dimensionals. And we're going to remove all those dimensional backings. And throw those in the trash. I find dimensionals all over the house. They seem to follow. Okay, we're just going to place that about there. And I'm debating, do I want to put this little guy in there? He kind of hides everything, so I don't know if I really want to put him in there. Maybe right there. Let me pull this one right back out again and see if I can't do a little rearranging here. And I'm just going to place some glue on the back of him. This little cone flower, I guess that's what it's called. And I don't want to hide my ribbon, but I've got to leave a space back down here to be able to put my sentiment. Can I squeeze you in here? Yeah. And get them to attach a little bit there. Okay, that worked out. And I want to put this anywhere now. I think I'll leave it off for a moment until I stamp our sentiment first. And our sentiment is going to be happy birthday. And I'm just using our black memento ink. I did re-ink my stamp pad this morning. And just center that hopefully onto our, I think it's like a half-inch strip of paper. And these are what I cut off when I'm cutting up my cardstock. I save those and I use them for my sentiments and different things. All right, so we're going to cut this at an angle on both sides. We got that one kind of close. And I'm going to place that at the bottom of our vellum layer. And I'm just using my Tombow glue. Okay. And now we can attach that to the back of to the front of our card. And I'm just going to use my Tombow glue, and where I'm seeing the image poking through, I'm going to place my glue there and it won't show. So just a little bit. And a little bit down here under the sentiment. All right, now we can put that onto our card front. And I'm going to have a small border going around. Just press that all down. Hearing music or something. Must be my husband outside. All right, so that looks pretty good, and it does hold. It doesn't fall off or go anywhere. And I think I might put this one over here, as long as I've got it cut out. Oops, a little too much glue there. And I'm just going to squeeze that in here. All right. And close up our glue. And we had some sequins here. And there they are. They're hiding. I'm using the pastel adhesive back sequins, and I'm going to use the pink ones. I'm going to go with the small ones. And take my big tool to take those off with. And I'm just going to place them onto the card front. Whoops. That one was in a hurry. He jumped right off my paper. Maybe right there. And a third one we'll put right here, I think. Okay. So there's our card. Happy birthday. And you could put some Wink Stella onto your flower if you wanted to have a little bit more bling to it. And I haven't done nothing on the inside. But the inside will be 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches with the basic white. And I'm just going to leave that for now because I'm undecided what I want to put in the inside. If I just want to write a note, if I want another sentiment, I'm just not sure yet. So I'm going to think on that one for a while. Okay, let's clean up our mess here a little bit. And we're going to come in with our second card, which is going to be a little bit messier. Let me move some things out of the way a little bit. And I call this one my Balmy Blue Magnolia card. So they're all Magnolia cards, but I just had to keep them separated so I knew which one I was needing the directions to. All right, so here's our card. Again, I'm using the Magnolia Mood stamp set and dies. But for the embossing folder, I've switched it out and I'm using the Layered Florals 3D embossing folder. So you can kind of see on the picture there. Let me move these things out of the way. And here's the embossing folder itself. And we're going to be inking that up and getting a little bit messy with this one. So, but here's the card. It says, just a note. And on the inside, it says, to let you know that you are loved. And I made a little note that our cardstock is a balmy blue. All right, so let's get started with that. We'll start with our card base, which is our standard size, the 5.5 inch by 8.5 inch. And then it's scored in the center at 4 1/4 inches. We're going to burnish that, get a good edge on it. And we'll set that right here for now. And the inside is a basic white, and that is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. So I'm getting another one of those spam calls. All right, let me set that aside for now. We're going to get messy here. So I've got a scrap of basic white, and this is about 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And we're going to take our embossing folder and our balmy blue ink, and we're going to ink up the inside of our embossing folder. And you want to make sure that you do the side that has the Stampin' Up! Logo on it. So that's the side that you'll ink up. So we're going to just ink it all up. And I'm probably going to get it all over my fingers. I've got a baby wipe here I think I can use. Clean up my fingers afterwards. And be generous with your ink. All right, I think that's good. Let's close that up. And then we're going to take that layer of basic white and we're going to lay that down on top of our embossing folder and close that up. And then I'm going to have to bring my big machine over here, my Big Boss, which is a little heavy. I don't know if I can even get it all in camera view. Let's see here. Not really, but you'll get the gist of it. We're going to use our large bottom plate, which is our number 1. And then we're going to lay our embossing folder on there. Make sure that you don't have any hangover on the edges because it will cut your embossing folder if you don't. And then we've got our plate number 4, which we use. This is the plate that we use when we do the 3D embossing folders. So that comes with your machine. Pretty sure it does. Yeah. And let's run that through. I still have a little difficulty with my shoulder yet, so I take it kind of slow. All right. Set that down, and then we're going to move our machine out of the way. Our plates. And that one. Set those there. So this is what it looks like when it comes out. And open it up and the magic begins. And it doesn't color the whole thing, but it colors most of it. Now you take your embossing folder after you do that and you just run it in your sink. Just wash it off with warm water and it'll come clean. Just like new. All right, I'm going to let that sit for just a moment. And we're going to bring our paper trimmer over here because we got to cut down to size that we need. So I've got my paper trimmer here. Set my card up here. It tipped over when I knocked it over with the machine. Hi, Becky. How are you today? Glad you got here. You can go back and catch what you missed. We're just doing our second card right now. We're just started. So I've ran a piece of basic white cardstock. I ran through my embossing folder, but I inked up the embossing folder first, and then I ran it through. So it gives you a little bit of a variation of the color. But we're going to cut this down to size. We want it to be 2 1/4 inches by 4 inches. So it's 4 inches wide. Now we want to cut it down and make it 2 1/4 inches. So right there looks good. And I'll chop that off. We're going to save this for another project later, maybe, if we need it. So don't throw that away. You can use it on another card later. Got green news, my new chemo. Oh, that's wonderful, Aunt Becky. I'm so happy for you. I'm doing okay. I'm still doing physical therapy. I think I've got like 3 weeks left. And then I go back to see my surgeon next month. So, but the physical therapist says that I'm doing really good. So I'm glad to hear that. It still hurts me, but I guess that's normal. Oh, Amber, I like angels. Okay. So let me quit reading comments here and pay attention to what I'm doing, I guess. Okay. Back at the card. So we're going to take our balmy blue and we're going to situate our blue embossed layer, inked layer on top. And I've already embossed the white layer. And this one measures 3 inches by 4 inches. And that's going to go across the bottom. You kind of figure out how you want your flowers to go. I think about like that. So I'm going to take my glue and I'm going to attach those. Okay, and get my glue to come out. I guess I got a glue booger in there. Well, come on out of there. I know you're a good bottle. There we go. Must have been just a little clogged up a little bit maybe. Had to persuade it. Okay, so this is going to go across our upper layer. I'm going to leave a little border going around all 3 sides, the top and the 2 sides. And we'll glue our bottom layer. So Becky, this bundle that I'm using today comes from the online exclusives that just came out yesterday. I don't know if you've seen those yet. They added a lot of things to our online exclusives section, so you might want to check it out if you hadn't. But this is one of the bundles that are in there that I'm using today. It's called the Magnolia Mood Bundle. And it's this one right here. I'll show you real quick. With the dies, it comes with 10 dies and then the stamp set, which I love this one already. There's another one in there too I hadn't got yet, the zinnias. Those are pretty too, but I hadn't got that one yet. Maybe my next order. Okay. That's my inside layer. I don't want that yet. We'll set this aside. Well, no, we got to stamp our sentiment on here. I've got this is a 3/4 inch by 4 inch strip of the balmy blue. Uh-oh. And my camera switched on me for some reason. Get back over there. I wasn't done yet. Okay, so like I said, this is 3/4 inches by 4 inches, and it's a balmy blue. We'll bring back our Memento Black ink pad, and we're going to stamp just a note. Okay, I just want just a note. I'm going to tape off this bottom portion. So I'm going to grab my washi tape here, if I can find the end of that. And come in here and tape off the portion that I don't want. Kind of tuck that down with my fingernail to get it down in between the words. All right, and then we're going to ink that up with our black memento ink. And try to get that all inked up the first time because I don't want to come back in and do it again. All right, and don't forget to take off your tape. And grab a portion right there. It's got ink on it. Well, the tape didn't want to let go of my fingers there. There we go. And now I'm going to take my just a note, and I'm going to stamp that at the right side of our balmy blue strip. That looks good. I didn't smudge it or nothing. I did good. And put the cover back on the ink pad before I have an accident with it. And now we're going to take our strip and we're going to lay it across the center of our two layers. And make sure you got your sentiment going the right direction, that you're not upside down. And we're going to place that across the center. And let me see if that's straight. I think right there it looks good. And press that down. All right. And now we've got our flower. We're going to color that using our balmy blue Stampin' blends. Get that out of there without making some racket. And our parakeet party. And I want the light wild wheat, which is right there. So we're going to start with our balmy blue, the dark. I'm going to do like I did with the first flower that we did. Do some shading. Well, Amber, you said you had sunshine where you are. Yeah, looks like that's what you said. Ours hasn't came out yet. Maybe later. I know yesterday it came out in the afternoon too, so we just got to get past the morning time, I guess. I'm ready for springtime. I don't like the cold. The older I've gotten, the less cold I can take. And here I was the one that was born and raised in Minnesota. I should be used to it, but I've been gone too long. That's my excuse. I don't like the cold. I can handle the heat. I don't know if that's an old thing or what it is. The older we get. Might be. Okay. Trying to see if I got all my shading done I wanted. And then we're going to do this little flowers on top the same way. My husband's out there, got the lawnmower running because he's got spring fever too. He had to take our zero turn to the shop. It was still on warranty. It had some things going on with it, so we're getting all those fixed, get it ready to go. I haven't even used it yet. I was having problems with my shoulder last summer, so I never got on it. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to or not. My shoulder. But he enjoys doing it, so I guess I'll let him have that job. um, well, Amber, I'm jealous. You could send some of that this way. Some sunshine. When Cookie passed away, our dog, uh, we got a little gravesite for her, and I got a little angel dog that's a solar powered. It's got a light on it, comes out at dark time, and then it shuts off sometime during the night. I'm not sure when. So it needs sunshine to be able to run. So we always make sure that Cookie's light is on at night. Even when she was alive, she didn't like the dark. She was, I don't know, because she maybe had cataracts or something. I don't know. So when she passed away, I seen that on Amazon and I ordered it. And it's got a little marker with her name and all that stuff next to it that I got. And then my son-in-law made her a white cross or a cross, and then Jack painted it. So she's got her own little memorial place there under a tree. Still hard to believe that she's gone. We get so attached to our fur babies that it really hurts and breaks our heart when something like that happens. Okay. Now we're going to switch out and go with our parakeet party, and I'm going to start with the dark. So can you all hear me okay? Is everything okay? The sound? I know the picture is not real clear. I don't know if it's because of my Wi-Fi doesn't have a strong enough signal or what it is. I wish I could improve it. I don't know where to start to do that. You know, I'm kind of challenged when it comes to all that stuff. uh, yeah, Amber. I'm glad I'm not a Yankee anymore. I haven't been a Yankee for a long time. I still have family there, cousins and all that sort of stuff, but I don't think I have any aunts and uncles left anymore. They've all gone on. Uh, that's what happens when we get old, I guess. All the older folks are leaving us. And it's been a long time since I've been up there. It's probably, oh gosh, maybe 15 years or more. I'm not sure. All right, so we did the light parakeet party to fill in our leaves. And now we're going to come in with our light wild wheat, if I can open it. And we're going to color the center of that flower with the light wild wheat. And that pretty well takes care of our coloring part. And I'm going to place those up on dimensionals on the back. And I think I'm going to scratch my nose, it itches. I'm going to cut down my dimensionals again in half, and then it makes them go a little farther. Plus, I've got to put quite a few on this one to support it, so it'll help not use so many. So I'm just going to take halves and place on our flower to hold it. And 2 there. I don't know if you can hear the lawnmower in the background. It's got the old mower running. He's saying we've got some tall grass, so that needed to be chopped down. I don't know. Possibly, I guess. I'm going to put a big dimensional in the center. And another half one there. And I think we've got it covered pretty good. Now let's pop those dimensional backings off. Be sure you like and share the video and tell your friends about me. I do a live every week. And I showcase Stampin' Up! Products because I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, so it's the only products that I really use. All right, now we're going to take that after we put dimensionals on it. We're going to place that hovering over our banner. Don't cover your sentiment. And then I've tied a little bow using, I think this is a balmy blue. It is, where did I put it? Well, I know I had it in there. Well, I thought I did. Well, I'm not finding it. It's a 3-pack. It's got the blue, the pink, and I think a yellow. It's 3 different colors. I thought I had it here, but of course I'm not finding it. Oh, here it is. It was hiding underneath my Stampin' Blends. Yeah, it's called the Baker's Twine 3-color combo. So it has the blue, the yellow, and kind of a coral color. So we're going to use the blue one, and I've already made a double knot or double bow. Yeah. So we're going to place that down with our mini glue dot. Oops, I got the wrong one. I have another one that's opened here already. That's a new pack I just got. See, my roll's getting down to the bottom here. I'm going to take that and I'm going to roll that mini glue dot up into a tiny ball. And then I'm going to place that on the stem of this upper little flower that's on our bigger flower. And press that down, trying to make sure there's no sticky on it. And then we need to add some rhinestones. What did I do with my rhinestones? Okay, here's our rhinestones. We've got to have our bling. And I'm going to take off that tip and use our putty end. And I'm going to grab 3. And I'm going to put one on that little flower right there. And another one on maybe this flower right here. And then our third one is going to go, maybe right here. Just peeking out from the top of that flower. Oh, Jojo, did you come in here to visit? Uh-oh, I got paper on the floor. You're going to get that. Would you like to come up here and say hello to everybody? Come here. Come on. Come here. All right. Let me see if I can switch cameras around. There we go. Here's Jojo. Isn't she big? She's gotten big since I had her on camera last. Say hello, Jojo. Say hello to the ladies. Can you say hello? Say hello. Yeah, she's gotten big. See? Look how big she's gotten. hard to believe she was only 4 pounds when we brought her home. And now she's over 10 pounds. I think last time she was 10.5 pounds, and I think she's gained a little bit since then. So there's Miss JoJo. She's been pretty good. She's going to be a good doggy. All right, there you go. That was a little sneak peek there. Let me get back to what we're doing. All right, just put the rhinestones onto our card front. And so our card front is done, just a note. And then on the inside, we're going to put our 4 by 5 1/4 inch basic weight. And I'm going to stamp our sentiment first. Let me get in my chair before I fall out here. And our sentiment is going to say, well, did I not get that one out? I didn't. Is that the one I know? Okay. We're going to use that same sentiment, but this time we're going to block off the top sentiment. And I'm going to use my Simply Chamois to clean that ink off of there so I don't transfer any ink where I don't want it. So dry that a little bit. And we're going to use our black memento ink. And now I gotta take my washi tape and block off that, just a note at the top. And make sure I got the right one here. And again, we're just placing our washi tape down over that. And I need a little bitty piece to go over that tail of that that J. Okay. All right, now we can ink that up. Just the lower portion of that sentiment to let you know that you are loved. And one more time to make sure. And we'll pull that off. Be sure you pull the tape off. And I got ink on my hand, my fingers. And I'm going to put that right in the center. All right. Close up our ink pad again. And then I've got a piece of our leftover from our inked up embossed layer. And this measures 3/4 inches by 4 inches. I'm going to place that along the bottom edge of our inside layer. And looking for my glue here. She's still got growing to do, yeah. Oh, you got a JoJo too, Amber? Black and white. Well, JoJo's not black and white. She looks like she is, but she's brindle and white. So, but it looks black because it's kind of a dark brindle. It's kind of a black and brown mix. Yeah, I think our vet said that she should stop growing when she's 6 months. So we've got another month of growing to go yet. And she's starting to get her adult teeth. So she's getting there. All right, I'm going to place this down along the bottom edge of our innards. And get that straight. Oh, now she's terrorizing Cooter, our cat. snip off that excess. And that had glue on it, so now I'm going to have glue transferring. All right, then we're going to add this to the inside of our card. I think I had a dog hair in there. Somebody's going to get a dog hair on the inside of their card. I don't know where it went. Maybe it fell off. All right, and now we're going to place that down. Oh, Becky, didn't you get a new puppy too? How's it, she or he doing? I was thinking it was you, Becky. Maybe it was somebody else that I'm thinking that got a new puppy. It's a challenge for us when we got older to go through the puppy stage, but we're getting there. We're hanging in there. All right, so here's our second card. Just a note. I've got a delay on my camera there, it looks like. Just a note to let you know that you are loved. All right, so that's our second card. Let me straighten up a bit here and we'll go on to our third card. Put the lids on these so I don't lose them. And we'll put that aside. All right, you guys, what you doing? Okay, so here's our third card. And let me get my instructions. Okay. Our JoJo is under 3 foot tall, over 20 years old. Aww. So it's a miniature horse? Huh. How fun. Don't tell my daughter. She'd be jealous. She likes horses. Okay, so here's our third card. It says, hello. Just a note to let you know that you are loved. And I'm using the same sentiment, but I'm using the whole thing on the inside of this one instead of masking it off. All right, so we're going to do some heat embossing with this one. So we're going to make some noise and make a mess, all that good stuff. Let me tell you the joke that I was going to tell last week. We'll take a little break here. It says, a scammer called my grandma and said he had all her passwords. She got a pen and paper and said, thank God for that. What are they? I thought that was really funny. We all have problems with our passwords all the time. So that was a good one. I thought it was funny. That's my scrap paper. And this one we're going to be using the Tahitian Tide, which is one of our retiring colors. And let me get my things together here. The card base is a 4 1/4 inch by 11 inch. And then it's scored in the center at 5 1/2 inches. And we're going to take our bone folder and burnish that edge real good. And then we're going to set that aside for a moment. And then we've got a basic black that measures 4 1/8 inches by 5 3/8 inches. And then a basic white that measures 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And trying to decide where I want to start at. Do I want to start coloring? I think we'll go ahead and color with our Stampin' Blend. We're going to use, what you doing, Cooter? We're going to start with our Tahitian Tide ink pad. Yeah, Amber, I thought that was cute. And we're going to take our blending brush and we're just going to give us some color here. And I'm going to use my glass mat to tap off some of the excess. And we're just going to go in the center and kind of make a little, kind of a circle. Yeah, my husband's out there with the old riding lawnmower. You just can't wait, I guess. So I apologize for the noise. I told him I was doing my live, but whatever. It's a guy thing. All right. I think I've got enough of that. And then I'm going to take my little cleaning cloth and I'm going to wipe that ink off before I transfer it to something I don't want to transfer to. And I think we're done with the Tahitian Tide ink pen. And we're going to set that aside. That's going to go onto our black mat. But we're going to do some heat embossing first. And I've got a scrap of basic white here. And I'm going to be using the Hello that comes from the Irresistible Blooms. It's this one right here. So that's the only extra item that I've brought in. So otherwise, we're still on the Magnolia Mood bundle yet. So I need that, and I need a large flower. So I'm going to, I'm going to do my embossing powders and stuff. Here they are. And get that out. I need that. I'm going to take our embossing tray. Comes with the little embossing buddy, the brush, and the reversible tweezers, and the tray. And it's called a toolkit or something like that. So I'm going to bring in all my items here. Get myself situated. I've got my Versamark ink and my black embossing powder. But I'm going to take my embossing buddy and I'm going to put a little bit of that embossing powder on the bottom corner here so it doesn't static cling for me. Hi, Diane. Yeah, Minnesota. Been a long time since I've been there. Okay. And I'm going to take my Versamark ink and I'm going to ink up our Hello. And I want to make sure I got enough embossing powder on there. And we're going to stamp that at our bottom left-hand corner. And then I'm going to go ahead and ink up this one also because we can heat emboss both of them at the same time. Glad you could join us. Be sure that you go back and watch the replay when we're done here to catch what you might have missed. I am on our third card here, so I've got two other ones before this one you might want to go back and catch. Yeah. All right, I'm going to press that down really good to make sure it's transferring. And close up my Versamark. We don't want our powder in there. And then I'm going to put our embossing powder on them. And see where it is right there. And I always like to make sure I've got enough, so I'm going to put a little bit more on there. And we'll do our flower. And I do apologize for the lawnmower in the background. It's my husband, being a guy. Okay. Cut that off a little bit, make sure I get everything on. I'm just going to set this aside and dump it back in here later. All you got to do is take off this little cap at the end, and then you can pour it back into your container. I'm going to set it over here out of the way and hopefully bump it or drop it on the floor. And then I'm going to bring my heat gun over here and do some magic. So turn that on. No matter how many times I do heat embossing, it still amazes me, the magic of it. Oh, Diane, you got your hands full with your grandson then. How old is your grandson? All of mine are pretty well grown up. I think my great grandson just turned 3, and all the grands are up in age already. I think my youngest granddaughter is, I think she's 14, 15. It's hard to keep up with everybody. Always 2. I love the 2s. A lot of people didn't like them because they called them the terrible 2s, but I think the 2s and the 3s were my favorite years. Instead of moving this around, I should have been keeping it still. It would have gone faster. I don't know why I was talking and moving the heat gun at the same time. Make sure that they're done. You can tell when they're done because they'll turn shiny. And some people heat from the back or the front. It doesn't really matter. I've had the same I can't think of the word. I'm having a senior moment. The same reaction either way, so it didn't really matter if it was front side or back side heating. All right, so I think those are good. We'll turn that noisy thing off. And we're going to set that one aside, and we're going to come over here with our white layer, and we're going to attach that to our black mat using my Tombow glue again. And my corner is good here. And so I've got some embossing powder on my table here. And keep a small border going around the entire layer. Try to get it on this straight. And I've got embossing powder on this. I need to get that brushed off. Where's my brush here? All right, you two. It's the cat yelling at the dog. Jojo picks on that cat so much that I don't see how she takes it all. She gets irritated with them. I found my favorite ages are 2 and 3 also. Yeah, I like the 2 and 3s. So we've got our Baker's Twine Essentials pack, and you get 5 different rolls in here. You get black, and then white, and then the beiges and a gray. I think that's a gray. So we're going to take our black twine. I haven't even opened this one yet. It's a new roll. And I'm going to grab my Stampin' Steel Plus, and we're going to put a couple strips in the back side to hold our twine in place. And instead of wrapping it completely around and using up a lot of twine, I'm just going to stick one in there and then come back and then kind of zigzag it. It's up a little bit too far there. Let me bring this down some. I'm going to do 3 layers of the twine. And stick that there, bring it back around, and attach that again, and then zigzag it in the back and bring it back. And looks like I'm a little crooked, so I'm going to have to go in here and push things around with my scissors to snip that off. But you can move it around where you want it to be, so that looks pretty good. So kind of see how it looks right there. Yeah, Amber, I agree. Once they hit teens, then your work is really cut out for you. Yeah, Diane, seems like that way you save a little bit of your ribbon or trim. You're not wrapping it around the whole back also, and it looks the same. Can't tell the difference unless you looked at the back side. It's just a little trick I've done. I like to save where I can save, you know. All right, we're going to put this onto our card front and leaving a small border going all around it. And try to get it straight. And press that all down. And I still got embossing powder on the top of that. I think it's on my work surface here. Let me grab a cloth here and wipe that down a little bit. And embossing powder is hard to get up. And brush that off a little bit. All right. And I'm going to cut this down a little bit, and we're going to bring over our baby boss, and we're going to die cut that out. I'm going to put that over here handy, so let me grab that. Take your nap, Jojo. Nap time. And this is our boho blue emboss and cut machine. It's in our online exclusives. So we've got a plate 3, a plate 2, and I need my die. Cut that out with. I don't have that out yet. And I'm out of camera view here. We're going to take our die. It's showing okay. We're going to place that over our flower. And die cut that out. But I'm going to use some washi tape to hold that in place. Maybe a little bit right there. I've got some stuck to the top of my light here, so I'm grabbing off it there. And I think it moved on me a little bit. And I think it's okay. And then we'll take our other number 2 plate and put on top. And we'll run that through the machine. This one's a little bit easier to run with my shoulder still in recovery. But you can only fit like a 3-inch area at a time with this one, so okay, and I'm going to take that out of our paper, and there it is. And let me take my die out of there and put that up so I don't lose it. And it's kind of bendy here, so we're going to straighten that out a little bit, and we're going to take our dimensionals again and put on the back. And I think I'm going to slice these down the middle and save a little bit. So I'm saving on the twine, and I'm saving on my dimensionals, I guess, today. And I take your pick tool back here. I'm scooching out of my chairs, so I'm going to get repositioned here. So I'm just using the half dimensionals to place on the back of our Magnolia flower, because I want to make sure it doesn't sink or anything. And I'm going to see. That's going to go over my twine. Oh, that's good right there. I just won't put it at the ends. I'm talking to myself. You might keep your dimensionals away from where your twine is. If you lay it on top of that, it kind of gets wobbly. So that's what I was looking at. I think another one right in the center should be enough. And I think I've got all of them. Put those in the trash. Jojo likes to eat my paper that I drop, so I kind of keep my eye out, make sure I hit the trash can. Okay, so we're going to place that right over our twine and hovering over our blue that we used with the blending brush, the Tahitian Tide. And now we need some rhinestones, which moved on me. They're right here. And I think I want one big one, which I've got one left on here. And I've got a new sheet bought already, so I got that taken care of. And then I've got a medium size. It's going to go right below that. And then a smaller, a small one we'll put right here in between the flower leaves. Okay, so here's the outside of our card. Hello. And we're going to do up the inside. And what did I do on the inside? I got to look, see again. Okay. I've got our basic white, which is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And a strip of the black, which I didn't measure. It looks like it's 1/8 of an inch, and then it's going to be the length of this, so it's 5 1/4 inches long. And I'm going to stamp my sentiment first to make sure that it stamps right and I don't goof it up. Are we using that same? Yeah, we're using the same sentiment, the just a note to let you know that you are loved. And I'm going to use my black Memento ink. And ink that all up. Make sure it's good. And we're going to stamp that right off to the right side a little bit. Upper center, I guess. Looks good right there. Let me close up my ink pad again. And you could have heat embossed this too with the black, but I didn't do that. And I'm going to put a strip of glue right across that left side. I got a glue booger. There we go. All right, and oh, Amber, paper is fiber. Yeah, I think she does think it is. I don't think it would hurt them. I don't think. They do eat a lot of things they're not supposed to. All right, I'm good for that. And then we're going to snip off those ends. And tiny bit more right there. Glue over here. We'll attach that to the inside of our card. I don't know if you can hear her barking. She's barking at the cat. She wants the cat to come play, and the cat says, "No way. You're too rough. You got them baby teeth yet." They are sharp. We call her our little alligator or crocodile. Okay, so there's the inside of our card. So, hello, Just a note to let you know that you are loved. And smudge or something right there. Okay, so let me pick up things here a little bit and we'll finish up. My mess out of the way here. Our cards over here. And where's my first one? Here it is. So here's our cards that we had today. Let me see if I can get them all in camera view. And maybe like this or not. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, kind of liked it better that way. So there's our 3 cards that we did today. Thank you, Becky. I'm glad you enjoyed them. Thank you, Diane. I hope you'll be able to join me again next Wednesday. And let me double check my camera to make sure before I start saying something. Well, I've got a doctor appointment, so I may need to change it to maybe Tuesday, March 12th at 10:30. Would that work for everybody? I don't know why they always schedule doctor appointments when you have something going on. It never fails. So let's say Tuesday, March 12th, same time, 10:30 Central Time. And I'll see you then. Not sure what we're going to be working on, but it might be probably some new projects that are in our online exclusive, so you can have a sneak peek at what's in there and how to use it. So I'm having fun coming up with ideas. But if you have any suggestions, I'd be open to any suggestions that you might want to see. But until next week, next Tuesday, March 12th, y'all have a great rest of the week, and I hope you get some crafting time in there. So get some me time in. We all need it. So thank you for being here. Until next week. Bye.